So the pattern is heavy winter pruning for the first 4 years to establish the scaffold, and then light winter pruning plus aggressive summer pruning for the rest of the tree's life to maximize fruit production. Here is why this works. Imagine this tree's energy like water flowing through pipes. A fruit tree has a limited amount of energy from photosynthesis in the leaves, and the tree has to decide how to allocate that energy between 3 competing demands: growth, which means making new wood; maintenance, which means keeping the existing structure alive; and reproduction, which means making fruit. And in nature, the tree will always prioritize growth and maintenance over reproduction, because the tree's evolutionary goal is to get as big as possible so it can compete for sunlight and live as long as possible. But your goal as a gardener is the opposite. You want the tree to stay small and manageable, and you want it to put maximum energy into fruit production.
Winter pruning removes branches, which signals to the tree that it needs to grow more wood to replace what was lost. So the tree responds by pushing out vigorous new shoots in the spring. And these shoots are mostly vegetative growth. They are not producing fruit. They are just making more wood. But summer pruning is different. Summer pruning is done after the tree has already put out its new growth for the year. And when you shorten those shoots in late summer, the tree cannot respond by growing more because the growing season is almost over. So instead, the tree redirects that energy into forming fruiting spurs, which are the short, stubby branches that produce flowers and fruit. And this is how you triple your harvest. You use winter pruning to shape the tree and remove unwanted wood, and you use summer pruning to force the tree to produce fruiting spurs instead of vegetative growth. This is why Seymour says that pruning fruit trees is a science in itself, because you are not just cutting branches randomly. You are manipulating the tree's biology to achieve a specific outcome, and the timing is critical. If you prune too early in winter, when the temperature is below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, you risk killing the tree. And if you prune too late in spring, after the buds have started to swell, you will remove the fruiting wood and you will get no crop. And if you skip the summer pruning entirely, the tree will put all its energy into growth and you will get a giant tree with very little fruit. The other thing that triples your harvest is the scaffold shape. And this is something that Seymour emphasizes throughout his book. The traditional open-centered goblet shape that most old gardening books recommend is actually not the best shape for backyard fruit trees, because the long, spreading branches of a goblet are prone to breaking under the weight of fruit. And when a branch breaks, you lose not just that year's crop, but also the fruiting spurs that would have produced fruit for years to come. So Seymour recommends the pyramid or spindle shape, which has short branches that are much stronger and less likely to break. And the pyramid shape also allows light to reach all parts of the tree, which improves fruit quality and reduces disease. Now here is the practical system. In January or February, when the temperature is above 20 degrees Fahrenheit and the tree is still dormant, you take your pruning saw and your pruners and you start with your apple. And you cut out all the dead wood and all the branches that are pointing inward toward the middle of the tree, flush at the joints. And then you step back and look at the scaffold and you identify the 3 or 4 main